Hello everybody, here are the 10 richest countries in Africa. Starts with number 10. Tanzania. With a GDP of $86 billion, Tanzania has recorded solid economic growth in recent years. On average, the country has maintained an annual growth rate of around 6 to 7%. Tanzania's economy is considered one of the most dynamic in East Africa. Number 9. The Ivory Coast. With a GDP of $87 billion, Côte d'Ivoire is the world's leading producer of cocoa. It supplies around 40% of world production. The country has natural resources such as oil, gas, iron ore and precious minerals. Number 8. Angola. With a GDP of $93 billion, this country's gross domestic product has fallen sharply due to the weakening of the oil sector. In 2022, it will be $123 billion. Number 7. Kenya. With a GDP of $115 billion, Kenya's economy is based on a vibrant services sector, diversified agriculture, growing technological innovation and an attractive tourism sector. Number 6. The Morocco. With a GDP of $157 billion, the Moroccan economy is known for its stability. Faced with Ethiopia's dynamic economy, Morocco lost a place in this ranking. For information, Burundi, South Sudan and Mozambique are the poorest countries in Africa. Number 5. Ethiopia. With a GDP of $192 billion, the Ethiopian economy never stops surprising us. According to the International Monetary Fund, the country will climb to 4th place in 2027, with a GDP reaching $272 billion. Ethiopian Airlines is the largest airline in Africa. It established a form of triangular trade. In the evening, the plane will transport flowers to Belgium, then head to Asia with a cargo of European products, before returning to Africa with a cargo of electronic products. Number 4. Algeria. With a GDP of $239 billion, the Algerian economy remains very dependent on hydrocarbons, which represent almost a third of GDP. Algeria has significant agricultural potential, with fertile lands and climatic diversity. According to the International Monetary Fund, in 2027, the country will lose its 4th place to Ethiopia. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Continuous. Number 3. Egypt. With a GDP of $358 billion, Egypt is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. Egypt lost its 1st and 2nd place with a considerable fall in its GDP. Number 2. Nigeria. With a GDP of $395 billion, Nigeria is one of the leading oil producers in Africa and has significant crude oil reserves. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa, with a young and dynamic population. And finally, the richest country in Africa is South Africa. With a GDP of $401 billion, the mining sector has historically played an important role in the South African economy. South Africa is the largest producer of electricity in Africa, mainly from coal.